Okay guys, I'll just hit a couple this way and see and work on that, getting the butt back and supporting the downswing with the mass behind us here. And I'll show you how to come up with a drill to do that, which is basically little half, three-quarter shots that you can actually do while sitting back. You can hit the ball like you're actually sitting back. Feel like you're going that way and the club's going out there. All right, we'll just hit a couple pairs, 5-iron. Beautiful now guys, actually quite warm. Bit stiff today, had a big session in the gym. Stomach's still a bit tender, but you don't want a belt around it supporting it for that stomach muscle. You've got to let it want to heal. If it's got support, it'll tend to look to the belt as its support system. Okay, so here we go. Auto load. See where I'm finished here guys? Look where the club is over here. First shot of the day and that's killed. That ball got a nice feel. Just feels like a normal Titleist type compression, like the normal one they give you in the shops that's sold to the public, not the pro ones, which there's 5 different compressions. It's given to the tour players. But that was perfect. And guys, even though I'm finishing over here, I'm still very much hitting that way, into, out and up. It's exactly the normal channel lock attack plane and delivery intention through the ball. But post it, I want to keep going, and then post impact I've got the mental conditioning intention to keep that body rotating. And of course as you get older you'll find that clearly that the rotational amount through the golf ball is nowhere near what it used to be, and that's only because it's insidiously crept up on us. But we've still got enough most of the times capability to increase that. Look, I've increased it. I mean, I can get through that probably as far as I did when I was 30. Backswing's not as long, but the forward swing is. All right, now I'll try and keep some of that weight back. Get the auto load, keep it back, and try to even get a little bit of that lead knee working. That's how I want to finish, guys. Wow. Whew. That was nice. Guys, what I like about channel lock, I really do, is that I can go away and not have hit any golf balls, and I can, if I had to go to a golf course and I couldn't hit any practice balls to warm up, I could hit the first shot reasonably well, because there's a specific protocol. And I go through that protocol and the numbers. And if I've got the numbers, the 1, 2, 3, 4, or whatever it is, if I've got those and I count those in and think about them, then the swing's going to repeat itself as it should. It's only when you'll only have a bad swing, guys. Everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people talk about, their friend that's got a natural golf swing and he doesn't think about anything, never practices, hits the ball great all the time. Well, I've never seen anyone that can do that. And I know, and that's because the way we're designed, guys, if you don't have some sort of program, I promise you the body won't respond. If you can't get the program out there, it just won't respond. A friend of mine told me, a guy that lives out the west out here, used to win all the tournaments years ago, 20 years ago, and used to win all the amateur tournaments, and they said, oh, he never practices, never does, just goes out, just doesn't do anything, just gets and just kills it. Well, I actually found a guy that knew him, that lived 2 doors from his house, 2 houses away. And I told him the story. I mentioned his name and he said, "Oh, you're Alan." He said, "He lives up the road." I said, what about the folklore about him being so natural he never practices? He said, "Mate," he said he wears his golf clubs out and his hands because he practices so much, but he doesn't let anybody see him practice. And what he does is he promotes the story. Oh, it's an easy game. You don't have to practice, you just have to swing naturally. I don't think there's any such thing as natural in the golf swing. Everything we do in a golf swing is contrary to what the body's designed to do in terms of balance and motion. It's not designed to have forces going that way while we're standing here trying to balance it. So, and I've had two cases of that, two stories of that, and they both ended up being exactly the same. Okay, I'll try and get that lead knee moving, and so the intention here is when I get back up to the top here, I'm going to sit, I'm going to squat and get the weight going this way, and then get that lead knee moving radially. Guys, you can do this with any type of golf swing. It doesn't have to be channel lock. And sometimes, guys, the ball will look like it's not off my trail foot, because sometimes I haven't got the camera in the right place. A lot of the times I haven't got the camera in the right place. But also what I basically do once I'm here, I just pull my trail foot back a little bit. Now if you pull it back, it looks like the ball's gone forward. But all I've done is pull it back. I haven't pulled it back and gone sideways, I've just pulled it back. It's still in that position. So that's a what we call an ocular aberration. It's not real. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to auto load, sit back, and try and get that lead knee moving. Now guys, there's an out of bounds fence about 15 metres over there. And on the angle I'm hitting, it comes in, it angles in. And the wind is left to right. So by the time I get here and I'm aiming up there, I'm actually aiming at the out of bounds fence. And so I've got to actually get the ball to just stay inside the out of bounds fence and just curve back this way. That's exactly what it does. With channel lock, of course I'm into out about 8 or 10 degrees, 4 or 5 degrees closed club face. It just goes up here and it banks itself back into the wind and doesn't go over the fence. And it's just the mechanics and the geometry and the swing dynamics of channel lock, guys. It just does that. If you apply correctly. Somebody sent me a text or a comment, and they said, "So JH, can you come over the top with the channel lock swing? Can you come over, and is it possible, or is it impossible to come over the top of the ball and hit the ball, drag it left with channel lock?" Well guys, it's not possible if, and this is the proviso and the waiver, if you have applied the channel lock geometry correctly. And that is this. Ball's off the trail foot, shoulders are closed on the downswing. I'm attacking the ball from in to out. Why am I attacking it from in to out? Because the club is very early in the delivery phase to the golf ball, because the ball is so far back. It's still wanting to track into out, and the fact that my shoulders are closed, it has to track into out. So it can't track out to in. So to answer that query, it's not possible to hit the ball for right hand or left and a drag or a pull, or come over the ball if you apply the correct channel lock geometry. The only way it'll go left and get you into trouble is if you're not applying proper channel lock geometry. If you set up closed, take it back, and then on the downswing you open, club's going to track like that, guys. But if you stay closed, it's going to track like that. It can't go there, because the shoulder girdle is dictating where the arms are going to go, and ultimately where the club head's going to go. The arms are attached to the shoulders. And if they're closed, the arms have got to go in that direction. Okay. Now guys, that little drill that I said you can do to get the feeling of that sitting back here and the lead knee doing that, just grab yourself a wedge, a 9-iron or an 8-iron or whatever, and just hit a couple of little shots like this. Stay in the legs and stay here, just here. Get that feeling. Just a little bunt, only going to hit it 30, 40 yards. Here. Move the knee, push back. Just do that. That'll give you the feeling. Here. It's a two-piece action. It's lead knee, sit down. Lead knee, sit down. Sit back. Not easy to do. If you're someone that's always done this, or done the early extension or the goat humping, hard to get out of that because we've got to go the opposite way. That's early extension. We want what we call an early placement. Here, start the downswing by early placement of that mass back there. But the little drill, guys, is this. Here. Here. There. And stay in that lead knee while it's going that way. Start the downswing with the lead knee. And what's interesting when you do that, guys, and you've got the club going down and through the ground, you'll see when you do that how pronounced the into-out track is. Now for me that's about 10 or 12 degrees into-out. It's quite significant, might be more than that. But it's quite significant. So that's all we need to do to get that feeling. Here. Auto load. Here. Just a little half shot. You just sit down and you just move that. You just move that lead knee and sit backwards, like that. That's what it is. It's there. I call it opening the groins. That's what it is. It's a bow-legged opening of the legs. Sorry to go off camera, guys. Guys, the good thing about channel lock is you just hit. I mean, I really, and I think I've told you guys before, that I start most of my practice sessions with my driver. People say, why do you do that, Chase? Because it's longer, travels further, and it just loosens me up because it's pulling on me harder. That's why I've never really ever had any trouble, virtually my whole golfing life, with the first tee shot. Because I'm used to swinging with the driver very. Some days, like when I have my golf range, my own teaching facility, some days I'd practice for 3 or 4 hours with just the driver. When it was a slow day and not a lot going on, I just hit drivers, like hundreds of them. I haven't been playing much, and clubs have just been sitting down in the garage, and this grip is really slick. But this will be good, guys, because the out of bounds fence is up here and there's a left to right wind here, so I've got to basically do exactly the same with this as I did with that iron shot. Just wish you could see that. That's just gone about 5 yards inside that fence and just peeled back into the wind. And that was dead in the centre of the club. Yeah, they're good looking golf ball. The only thing I see different to these as a range ball from the Titleist golf ball is there's more paint on it, so the dimples are not quite as defined as a normal golf ball because it's got more paint. So the spin on these would be lower, and that drive indicated that. I reckon that drive only had, you know, like a 1600 RPM on it. And I can normally judge. I've been on TrackMan and I can judge a drive when I hit it by seeing it. You're within a couple of hundred RPM on what the RPM is on it. And then that was, I'm normally about 2000, and but that was actually quite low. That's probably about 1700. Feels good. Okay guys, I think the sun's down low enough now, so I'll end this video and we'll hit some out here, or maybe this way, and see if we can hit it into that beautiful blue sky over there. As Arnold says, I'll be back.